Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Katane, and I am your announcer for this deck profile. Alright, so I'm blind. I can't see anything. I did it for that one video, and perfect. So, now since I can check it out. Oh, my hair's all weird, too. Bam. Spiky like middle school. Alright, so I made an announcer deck. With the new World Tournament cards coming out, all World Tournament cards pretty much got boosted up. Green Goku still a little hard. Not that he didn't get support, but it just didn't seem good enough. Jackie Chan, amazing. And Announcer got a nice little buff. The only problem with Announcer, if you ever played it, is he can only play World Tournament battle cards. Any event can be added in the deck, but for battle cards, it has to be World Tournament cards. So what does that mean? Since Bandai likes to make bully cards, I can't play them. Chronoa, I said the name right finally. You can't add it in your deck. You can't sideboard it or anything. So shoot guess is always going to be a problem for Announcer. Overrun cards, your opponent can kind of guess what you're siding at that point. And every other matchup that's not Announcer, they're like, oh, I wonder what's the side. Does it do this? All right, you know what? Let me prepare for the worst. With Announcer, when you go against it, you don't really have to worry about a lot of things. You're like, there's not much he can side anyways against me, so and Announcer becomes predictable. But he has such a good ability. Like Pan, the leader, when you play a battle card, it doesn't boost it up by 5k, but you don't have to care about what the power level is. Anytime you play a World Tournament card, the first time that turn, you get to draw a card. That's your turn or your opponent's turn. We do run a nifty negate that comes out on your opponent's turn, so you get to draw a card. Awesome. His front side is incredible, and his backside is not incredible. That's the best way to describe it. We want to be in the front side as much as possible, but there's times where our opponent rushes us down, and we have to flip to the backside. The format is a little bit slower, or if you were to think about Storm format, then this format's a lot slower. But there's still decks that can rush in, like Broly BR is gonna go in. How to Mastery decks shouldn't be hitting, so you should get full value as much as you can, but they're not gonna attack you anyways, so you're not gonna get the draw effect on your opponent's turn. Alright, happens. Really quick, I am using Shenron's Lair. Really good way to deck build. What I do like is that I can look at the screen and then hover over a card and see its full text. Other websites I use, I couldn't do that, and that was kind of a little frustrating. Now, bam. Also, Shenron's Lair has teamed up with PPG, and we kind of like support each other. You know, I talk about them, they talk about us. And you can see Pro Plays Tour Season 2 all here. So, you know, if we're close by, please come out to one of our events. It's very fun. So, back to deck profile. Announcer, awesome. 2 permanents, making sure I'm reading it right. You can only play World Tournament cards. Already said that. The other permanent is none of your World Tournament cards have specific costs. Hopefully I'm saying that. Specific cost, meaning that if it has a blue symbol, yellow symbol, any symbol, doesn't matter. You get to you just have to pay the energy cost. You don't have to worry about the colors. Once per turn, when you play a World Tournament card, you get to draw a card. Awesome. Once per turn, either player's turn. Awaken at 4, and you get to untap 2 energies. Solid. He draws enough. He doesn't need to be a leader that draws 2 more. Solid. Untapping 2. Backside. Still, all your World Tournament cards have no Pacific cost. That's very important that they keep that permanent there, because imagine if your game plan is playing, oh, no Pacific cost, and it awakens, and then there is a Pacific cost. Like, oh, that would be a problem. I just noticed I am covering, maybe if I go like this, you can read it. So, and, oh, that's so uncomfortable. The legs. That's a lie, I never do legs. Auto one of your attacks, you get to draw a card. I'm just reading it for you. Oh, there you go. That's a smart move. I'm sorry, guys, messed up. When you attack, you get to draw a card, and then his active main, it's once per game. It's a one-time use. That's it. But it's not even broken. You choose 2 World Tournament cards on your field and give them 5k for the duration of the turn. But you're only able to do that once per game. So pretty much when you're going in for a big swing, we're going to activate that effect and we're going to go in. these are my card choices. Pretty hard to describe, or like as I was preparing for this video, because as you see, I kind of just guess it since I know no one's gonna edit it. I don't know where to start with because I'm gonna talk about Minus Killzone as the first card. This format, how it looks, even when World Tournament comes out, there's still decks like Broly BR, Yellow Broly, Chilai, if you haven't seen that, that deck's pretty cool, that run Cold Bloodlust. Cold Bloodlust is huge. This deck performs on turn 4, and if you didn't want turn 4, turn 5. But you do need those effects to go off. If you don't, you lose pretty easy. You tap out, you're like, I'm not gonna win. So I added 2 Minus Killzones. It's totally fine. Worst comes to worst in a matchup that it's useless on, it can at least replace itself, because since we can't run any overrun cards, anything in the graveyard, we don't care. Discard pile, that's the correct word for it. In discard pile, we don't care. We banish 3, we'll draw a card and replace itself. Not a big deal. Since we don't have to worry about specific costs, we can charge it and not care. So I've only added 2. I'm scared of Cold Bloodlust. 1, World Tournament Arena. It's a card that if you see it, awesome, slam it down, but it's not the almighty best card. Turn 1, 2, 3, you don't really care. You have so much draw power in this deck that by the time you see one, it's going to be turn 4 or 5 when you actually need it. Solid. What it does is active main, you switch into rest mode if your leader is Announcer, not World Tournament, but Announcer itself. Choose up to 2 of your battle cards with World Tournament and they gain 5,000 power for the duration of turn. So exactly like our big guy's effects. Silly me. Bam. So just like his effect, that's once per game, we have it on a card, but we can use it every turn. Good. 4 Power Burst, because it's a black negate, we're able to play it. We're definitely going to have Sparking, not a big deal. And it can grab a 1-drop black card, which if you haven't played Announcer, the 2 1-drop black cards are incredible. One is when you play it, you get to look at the top 7. Let's do this one. You look at the top 7 of your deck, choose 1 World Tournament card, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So you pretty much get to search your whole deck, as long as it's not an event card, and add something to your hand. Solid. The second one though, super good. The second one is a counter attack, which if my leader's a World Tournament, I can negate an attack and play this card. The fact that I played it and it came out on your opponent's turn because you negated an attack, with Announcer front side, you get to draw a card. Incredible. But during your turn, when you play this card, if there are 2 or more World Tournament cards other than this, you get to draw 2 cards. So if you have 2 other ones and then you play this 1-drop Announcer, you get to draw 2 cards for 1 energy. That's huge. That's incredible. But he's also a negate, and that's like the sale pitch of this, because I can literally, if I have 1 energy open, I can Power Burst by taking 1 life. Cool. I add a negate to my hand, and I'll still have 1 ready to negate. So for 1 Power Burst, I get to negate 2 attacks. And that's such a big sale pitch for this deck. That's what makes it like, oh, not bad. We can get to our big turn 4 or 5, and that's what we want to do. We do want to attack down as much as we can with Announcer, but that's such, it does a really good control. Now, probably the best World Tournament card to come out in the new promo. I'm gonna say set, but it's not a set. It's like a promo thing. I'm not even quite sure. There's like 20 cards. Should be a set. It's not. I don't know. But it's legal on June 21st, very soon. So 17 days. By the time you see this, it should be 16 days. Dende. Savior. We're gonna say Savior because the A word's kind of hard. Costs 1 blue, which doesn't matter when specific costs. When you play this card, choose up to one World Tournament with energy costs 5 or less from your deck, send it to warp. So for your deck, at the start of your next turn, add that card from your warp by this skill to your hand. Even if he dies, like when you play it, go through a deck, search pretty much any card other than a bet, and warp it. Solid, solid. On the start of your turn, you're gonna get it back. Even if this Dende leaves the board, does not matter, you still will get it back. They brought, there was a card that did the exact same thing, but if it left the field, the card would stay in warp. So never saw play. You couldn't. I think Bandai realized that. They're like, all right, well, this one, it's gonna be an auto, and you're gonna get it guaranteed. It also has a really good ability that in this deck, it's not good because I don't run anything 3 or less that's useful. But active main, you can pay 2. If your leader card is a World Tournament card, and you place this card from the owner's drop area, choose one World Tournament card, energy cost 3 or less from your hand, send it to Warp. So from your hand, you send it to Warp. At the start of your next turn, you get to play it. So for 2, you get to bring out a 3-drop on your next turn. You don't have to waste 3 energy. So like turn 1, you'll play Dende, you search, let's say, theoretically a 3-drop. In this deck, it won't be that, but you search a 3-drop World Tournament. On turn 2, you will use Dende's effect, pay 2, send it to the drop area. That same card you just added, it'll go back to the Warp. So on turn 3, without paying any energy, without even worry, at the start of your turn, he comes out, he gets played, and you get whatever effects you needed from that point. Really cool, but we're just using it because it searches our deck, and turn 2, we know what we want to do, but I'll tell you soon. Bam! Son Goku Jr., heroic successor. And the word successor, we know it's good in this game, right? It's double strike, auto. When you play this card and if your leader card is a World Tournament card, look at the one card from the bottom of your deck, choose up to one Vegeta Jr. heroic successor from it, play it, then shuffle your deck. So when you play this, you chance the bottom of the deck. If it's this Vegeta that's talking about, you get to play it for free. Amazing. Talk about how a Vegeta gets in the bottom. There's cards to help you for that. Active main, once per turn, choose one Vegeta Jr. heroic successor in rest mode in your battle area and switch it to active. At the end of your turn, choose one of your energy and switch it to active. Really cool. So basically it's going to stand the Vegeta that's rested. So let's talk about that Vegeta real quick. Bam. 1, the picture's gorgeous. 2, let me tell you the effect. Did I tell you this deck just draws? It draws a lot. Let me show you. It's critical because you know Vegeta's always going to be critical. That's just how it is. If your leader card is a World Tournament card, place this card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, then draw 1 card. That's not once per turn, and that's free. It doesn't cost any energy. It's literally you have it in your hand, you don't need it. You get to shuffle, you get to put it in the bottom and draw something new, maybe something more important. Just more combo powers. You want this in the bottom. It goes co with this Goku since it brings it out from the bottom of the deck. So at any point of the turn, you just literally do this. You're like bottom of the deck. You have to be careful because the 1-drop announcer that looks at the top 7 shuffles afterwards. So maybe you want to keep it in your hand for a little bit when you know you're going to do this play. Then he has an auto once per turn. When this card is switched from switch to active mode by Son Goku Jr.'s heroic successor skill, choose one Son Goku Jr. Choose basically the same card that just helped you out in rest mode in your battle area and switch it to active mode. So this is the combo that you pretty much are going to do. Once they're both on the field, you're going to swing with Vegeta. Awesome. And then you're going to swing with Goku. Awesome. You're going to use Goku's active main to switch back the Vegeta. Cool. Vegeta stands, activates his effect, which stands the Goku, and you get basically 4 swings out of 2 battle cards. Pretty solid. One's double strike, the other one's critical. Gets really annoying. They're only 19, but if you use the World Tournament Arena card and Announcer's Awaken ability, you get to bump them up by 1,000, which would be 29 swinging, with the equivalent of 25 basically swinging 4 times. Really good. And it's just really strong. If you have multiple copies in your hand, you don't need one. For this play to work, like literally just put the extra copies in the bottom of the deck, draw your deck until you need something. I think this lineup for World Tournament is solid, where you just need 1 Son Goku and 3 to 4 Vegetas. I think 3 is fine also. Me and Marcel were talking about it. We're like, 3 is not bad either. It's always going to be live. It's not a big deal. The moment it's in your hand, you just put it in the bottom, look for something new. This is a big update for all World Tournaments because pretty much anyone can use it. Really strong. Next card is 2 King Piccolo. This guy is so good. Let me tell you why. Double strike. If you have 4 or more energy You may choose 2 World Tournament cards in any battle area, negate their skill for the duration of the turn, and then place them in the drop area. If you do play this card from your hand, you can't activate King Piccolo's Limitless Power active main skill for the duration of the turn. So basically, if this is in your hand, on your turn 4, you get to bring out a double strike for free. If you're going against a World Tournament leader or like a World Tournament deck, this card is incredible because by turn 4 you have removal for whatever they have on their board. But even if you're not going against a World Tournament leader, the whole Goku Vegeta play where they swing 4 times, all right, they survived, cool. Now I'm gonna get rid of both of them for free to play this Piccolo, have a double striker, swing. That's 5 attacks for the cost of 1 card coming out. So 1 card came out, brought out Vegeta, they do their tag team. Then the second card in your hand, the Piccolo, you kill both of them, bring out this Piccolo, swing. It's just something to put a little more pressure. And if you happen to go against a World Tournament leader, this card is good. It does not affect barrier, even though it negates like the skill. It doesn't say ignore barrier, so you can never choose barrier in the first place. So there's certain cards like 3-drop Hercule that's going to be really, really good. That has barrier. You can't remove that, but you get to remove the pan that's tied up with Hercule. So that was a 25 double striker dual attack. Definitely get rid of that easy. So this card definitely is going to see play. Only 2 because again Dende can search almost anything. 2 Hidden Power East Kai because you need double strike. You have a ton of cards and you're going to have a ton of cards in your hand, and double strike always wins games. You have to be careful with the super combo because when you play it, you have to declare, hey, I'm giving my guy double strike. Quick pro tip is with a nice little permanent marker right on the card, not on the text, but on the card, call it, but like in big letters. So in no tournament will you ever be rule shark. You didn't give a double strike. 1, that's wrong if you do that. 2, it does happen. Some people are like, I'm here in the professional level and I want to win, and you didn't call double strike, learn the rules. That's horrible. Someone actually tried to do that on me in one event. It's a shame too because we were super cool the whole tournament. Awesome. Game 3, going for game, doom. He actually tried to say that and he's like, oh, you didn't call double strike. And I was so mad inside, and I'm never mad. At least I try not to be. And then the judge was there to see it, and he's like, "This rule sharking, we don't allow it. We don't agree with that thing." So it got called in my favor. It was a situation, but the guy was cool with it because he knew he was going to lose. He just did his only option to try to win. But the head judge of whatever tournament you were playing will tell you, hey, this is how this card's going to work, how we're going to rule it. And you know, some judges are going to agree that you should call it. Other judges, it all depends on your head judge, is going to agree, hey, that's rule sharking. You know, the most someone gets is a warning. That card becomes such a problem because some players like, no, that's an easy way to steal win. That's wrong. We play this game for fun, guys. So Babidi, 2 of them. Why? Because we run 4 Dendes. We can search Babidi whenever we need it. We have a bunch of draw power, so it's not a big deal. But his play is when you play this card, if your leader is a World Tournament card, so any World Tournament card, and you have 4 more energy, well, he's 4, so we're only going to play him at 4 or more, you may choose 1 card from your hand. If you do, place it on top of your deck. Choose 1 card in your hand, place it on top of your deck. If you do, choose 1 Supreme Showdown Vegeta from your deck and play it. Then shuffle your deck. When this card is placed to the drop area from the battle area by a skill, choose all your red World Tournament cards. They can't be KO'd for the duration of the turn. Alright, so the card that it brings out is this Vegeta. Monster Vegeta, incredible. It's when it becomes evil by Babidi. It's triple strike if Supreme Showdown Son Goku's in play in your battle area. This card gets 10,000 power, so instead of 25, it's 35. When this card is played, if your leader is a World Tournament, you may choose 1 of your battle cards other than this card, place it in the drop area. If you do, your opponent cannot activate blockers for the duration of the turn. Alright, how good is that? The Babidi gets to put a card from the hand on top and then bring out Vegeta. So if this card is sitting in your hand, there's only 3 copies. So let's say you charge 1, the other one somehow is in life because you get to see your whole deck with Dende. and you drew the last copy. It does not matter. Babidi can put that same copy on top of the deck, then bring out Vegeta from your deck to the top of your deck. So you bring it out. Awesome. Once it comes out, it destroys one card. What card is it going to destroy? The Babidi. Bam. When the Babidi dies, all your red cards can't be KO for the duration of your turn. Why is that a big deal? Because Broly BR is a real thing, where you'll swing, they pitch one card, and destroy any card, even if it has barrier. If the A drops out, it can destroy barriers too. Amazing. This Babidi prevents that. I'm going in, you better have the negate. But there's more. To get that sweet 10k, how do you bring out the Goku? Well, let me tell you. If Supreme, okay, triple strike permanent, if Supreme Showdown Vegeta is in play in the battle area, in your battle area, this card gets 10,000, so another 35. Cool, but his auto is the sell pitch. When your battle card is placed in the drop area with Supreme Showdown Vegeta's skill, and your leader card is a World Tournament, activate the skill. If there's no Supreme Showdown Son Goku, so if there's no card like himself on the field, in your battle area, you may play this card from your hand, basically for free. So, your turn 4 can either be Goku or Vegeta the kids, or it can be the real ones, where you play Babidi, you do this play to bring out Vegeta. Vegeta's going to pop the Babidi, activating Goku's skill to bring it out from hand, and now you got two triple strikers swinging. And Babidi protects them from being destroyed by Broly BR. Or Enrage Battle Gohan, the event card that for 2 green you discard a card and you get to pop an attacking creature. We can come out of it. Even though no one's playing that, get it, it was still an option. Which is really cool, because turn 4, you're either going to swing 4 times. So if their life is like up there, cool. But if their life is at 3, you want to go for this play because this is going to go in. I'm swinging. Let's go. Let's go. Bad Ring Laser, because it's just that good of a card. I've learned that. Playing other decks, I realized that Bad Ring Laser is just a card that wins. You're going for a big push. They feel safe with the negate. You Bad Ring Laser. You most of the time just win. That's just a really strong card. We do run enough yellows to make it equivalent, make it good. You run the 2 old men. Well, we're going to call them old men. Basically, they help each other out. That they're both barriers, so they're kind of annoying to get rid of. They're 1-drops. Active main once per turn. Choose 1 Master Shin Martial Mister in your battle area. Switch in a rest mode. Draw a card. So this card rests this one. You get to draw a card. This card rests this one. You get to draw a card. So these 2 on the field, you continuously draw cards. They're 6k. So that's almost the equivalent of 10. Why is that? It's because, let's say both of them are rested because I drew 2 cards out of it. Cool. My opponent goes. He swings with a 10k. All I have to do is waste 1 5k and save it. If they swing with 15, it's a different number. But if they swing with 10k, it just takes me a 5. Now, if these 2 were 5-drop, or like 5k, it would have been different, because if they swing with a 10k, I can't block, which is 5k, because it would be 10 to 10. So the fact that they are 6,000 power means I only have to block with a 5k if they swing with 10. Solid. Know that. It's really good for math, and they usually stay on the board because they're barrier. Another really cool thing about them is you want to get at least 1-2 uses out of them, where you draw 2, you defend them, you draw 2 again, your opponent's going to try to get rid of them. By turn 4, when you do your big plays, instead of killing any bombs, your King Piccolo can just kill these 2. Yeah, once you get 2 draws out of them, you're like, alright, I don't need them anymore. Kill them, play Piccolo for free, a double striker. Awesome. Since Height of Mastery Victory Strike is such a real deck, we have a card that is good against Height of Mastery, not good against Victory Strike, but we'll find out real quick. It's Counterplay. We haven't had a Counterplay in a long time. The last one was Preventive Strike. Before that, it was Crusher Ball and Cold Bloodlust. Those were the only like counterplays. We got a new Counterplay. When you play this card, if your opponent's, and it's your opponent's turn, you may place this card in your owner's drop area. If you do, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card with energy card greater than their energy, ignoring barriers, switch it to rest mode. And that battle card can't be switched to active mode until the start of your turn. Alright, so it does do Victory Strike. That's amazing. I thought it was like in swing and stuff, you rest it. No, it's just that good. So how does it go against Hidden Mastery? Hidden Mastery has Deflect. All right, cool. Deflect means it can't be affected by counterplay. Best part though is this counterplay is not affecting it. This counterplay lets you just play this card on your opponent's turn. That's what his counterplay is. It has nothing to do with affecting the card that has Deflect, so you don't care. So when Hidden Mastery is coming up, before they tap 3 of your energy, you're able to play this card for 1 yellow. Boom. Well, with Announcer, it doesn't matter if it's yellow or not, but you're able to play this card. It comes out before Hidden Mastery comes out. Then he taps out your thing. Then autos are going to activate. Awesome. Where when this card is played, if there is an opponent in your opponent's turn, you may place this in the drop area. I'm putting it in the drop area right after Hidden Mastery comes and put it in rest. So even if they try to Victory Strike it, evolve, it does not matter. It evolves in rest mode. And we don't have to worry about Hidden Mastery swinging with dual attack, triple strike because it's rested. This card is really good against something like that. Very strong. Also good against Broly BR because most of the time, the cards that are swinging at you are way above what your opponent's energy are. Broly can have an 8 drop on their turn 2. This can at least prevent it from swinging at you. You just counterplay it, you play it, put it in rest, deal with it on your turn. If there's any problem with the deck, it's that it does not have removal. Outside of this Piccolo destroying only World Tournament cards, I couldn't find space to put removal in there. There is removal cards for World Tournament cards, but it's lackluster, I think would be the word. Goku Oob is very strong, but only gets rid of 20k and less, which in this format, the Broly 6 drop is 25, so I can't even get rid of that. You can run Trunks and the Weird Guy, which is really strong too. But for Announcer, I didn't feel like it was enough. I just wanted to defend myself, draw as much as possible, and then turn 4, if not 5, I'm going in with a bunch of cards to be able to combo out. So that's the game plan of this. And then we have 4 yellow super combos. You can run different combos, but the fact that we do run 1 Bad Ring Laser, you want to have an extra yellow card. And if I have to get rid of a super combo, that's fine. At least I'm negating something really important. So let's see. Let's go back into Announcer mode. This is the deck for Announcer. I truly can't see anything. This is my take on it. I still need to do practice on it come June 21st when these cards come out. This is what I'm going to try. Afterwards, I think Marcel is going to bring you Jackie Chun deck profile because that's much, I'm not saying better, but stronger. But till then, join us. Thank you for watching this, and good night.